All right, here we are, the end of the 2021 Bassmaster Elite Series season, and yep, there it is. Look. Okay, it's not there. It's gone. My boat is gone. Sold my boat. Don't have my new one yet, and I've got all of my tackle. Everybody likes fishing tackle. This guy really likes fishing tackle. Or okay, that guy. Okay, he likes 11-pounders and fishing tackle. But I want to just kind of show you guys all the stuff that I carry around in my truck and in my boat. I've got it all kind of laid out right here, and it looks like a complete and total yard sale from some kind of bass angler, or like 20 bass anglers that fish for 50 years or something. But I kind of show you all the stuff that I kind of take with me. I'm gonna walk down here and we'll start on this end. And all this other stuff is this excess. These are a bunch of extra spro baits that I keep here. Just, I've accumulated over the years. This is my stash. This is my stuff. But what goes with me on the road, we've got a Sunline bag right here. This is where I keep all of my braid, all of that Sunline X Plasma, all the goods, all that kind of stuff. All that braid is right in there. And then in this portion right here, this little cool box, this is where I keep all of my fluorocarbon. Keep all of my sniper, all of my shooter, all of my Crank FC. Got the Crank FC, shooter, and the sniper. This is just the spare stuff that stays here, but that's what goes with me on the road in that handy dandy little compartment. And I'm kind of funny because my boy Aaron Martins years ago planted that seed in my head that he didn't like his fluorocarbon to get too hot, so he didn't like to leave it in the truck. So I kind of have to agree. I try to keep my fluorocarbon at an even temperature, as even as possible. So I don't try to leave that into the truck too long, and then and try to just take care of it and baby it just like you would a kid, because I count on that fluorocarbon. It does an amazing job. I don't think there's anything better. So that fluorocarbon in that line goes with me everywhere. Here's my leader bag. I keep this in the boat, and I swap those lines out, and I keep this one in there too. Little leader spools. That's what I make all my leaders with. FC Sniper. That's it right there. That's the deal for all my leaders. So here are all the rods. The majority of these baits and these rods and reels go with me. And kind of my bait casting go-to is casting rods. And this is the Daiwa Tatula 100. And that's the majority of what I fish with on my bait casters. Next year, I'm going to be making a change. I'm going to be getting the Daiwa Zillion. At least I think I am, if we can ever get some in. The Daiwa Zillion TWSV or SVTW, whichever one it is. That's the most amazing reel I've ever cast in my life. So we're going to kind of change that across the board. And then on the spinning side, again, casting rods, made in the old USA, my faves. I've been fishing with them for a long time. But then my preferred spinning reel is the Daiwa Ballistic LT. That is a smoking spinning reel right there. Absolutely love that as well. So that's what all of this mess is. Then in my truck, I will keep this bundle, and sometimes I'll have another smaller bundle, but I'll keep a bundle of spare rods, because you're out there on the road. There's not always a dealer everywhere. So if you break a rod or sit on one or something, then you need a spare. And these, my spares have been going with me for years. And those are kind of just my guys. Those are my buddies. They go everywhere with me. But now we're getting into the boat stuff right here. Here is a lot of the plastics that I take with me. And as you can see, a lot of plastics. Pretty much everything's in one of these missile bags. There's Ned bombs right there. I've got 2 bags of Ned bombs, and I've got 2 bags of each size quiver. Bomb shots, shockwaves. I still keep some trick worms in the boat for the old wacky worm sometimes. There's the quivers, baby D bombs, mini D chunks. These are the new guys right here. the new guys, the mini D chunks. That's right, I got them before everybody else. Kind of got some benefits with that. But then we're just gonna get down here on the ground. And this box over here is a lot of spare Spro baits. As you can see, there's a lot of Spro packages in there. Those are all the spare Spro baits that I keep in the truck when I'm on the road, because, you know, if I need some extra rock crawlers, need some extra little johns, need some extra frogs, that's where I keep those. And then I've got, you know, more of my plastics up through here. Here's my Zoom Fluke bag. I'm a big fan of the Zoom Fluke. That thing for me goes in cycles. I'll go for 3 or 4 years and like hardly never catch a fish on a Zoom Fluke. And then the last, I'd say 2 years, it seemed like every other tournament it was in the mix. Just weird. I think some of it just depends on how the lakes lay out and that kind of stuff. But getting back to all the juice here, this is this blue bag here is where I keep a lot of my real deep water stuff. Got some that's right, Steve's spoons. Don't ask where I got them, because you can't. Just say that. We got big flukes. We got big underspins. That's all my big stuff, like all my jerky J's, my big jerky J's for the scroungers, that kind of stuff. Like the niche offshore stuff is there. My money offshore stuff is over here. I'll show you that in a few minutes. But then we're getting over here. There's some of my frog stuff. Got some of the newer frogs in. Got a sample of the little bad boy with those things actually bang together and they ting, 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 kind of like that when you're reeling it. Pretty slick. And then got more of my frog stuff here. There's one of those I was playing with, trying to do something crazy. Here's all my jigs right here. Got the micro jigs, micro footballs, my skirts, headbangers, and the mini flips are way down there on the bottom. Those came right out of the boat. Some more G-Finesse treble hooks that I had feathers put on. A buddy of mine put some feathers on them for me because he's my buddy. That's what you do. You do a little extra juice. But here's all the boxes that come out of the boat. They are all Spro boxes. I got a couple of the blue Gamakatsu boxes, but you know, baby Fat Johns, love them Johns right there. That's my chatterbait box. I don't even like. I love that guy because it's my chatterbait box is down there. See, it's chat. This is just a spare box. Had some extra baits in it when I was up north. Jerk baits, little John DD. There's my offshore Johns right there. Little John DDs. Trebles. I keep all my trebles in there. That waterproof Spro box is the deal on that. Rock crawlers and all my top waters are in there. Man, I could take you through every one of these boxes. It would take forever. If we want to go back and kind of go through, you know, categories of boxes or something, that would be cool. But we got Little Johns, Fat Johns and XL, Little John XLs, Little Johns. What else do we have down here? Some little boot tail swim baits, some frogs down on the bottom. Got some glide baits down in there. No, I am not showing you all my glide baits. Not doing it. Like I'm some glide bait guru, right? Not really. Got spin johns. This is all the color spin johns I need right there in that little box. Gamakatsu makes some cool little small boxes. Got G-Finesse treble hooks in there. Got all my lipless baits in here. Got a bunch of Wamiku shads. Wamiku shads are pretty slick. And now they're coming in a bunch of different sizes, so that's good. And then get my glide baits down there. There's nothing real special in there, to be honest with you. I got some tater hogs and some Roman made negotiators. If you're into that kind of stuff, hit it up down there in the comments. Let me know. Maybe we'll go through that one day. But we're just going to keep rolling through all of this stuff that comes out of my boat and my trucks. Okay, so the majority of that stuff right there that we just looked at, majority of all that stays in the boat. That's a lot of stuff to stay in the boat. Now let me show you how I kind of do my hooks and weights. Now here are some weights. Here's a bunch of the rattling drop shots, the rattle shots. I got a whole sack of them. These are homemade swing heads, biffle heads, hard heads, whatever you want to call them. And then I got some stuff I was experimenting with there, but these are money makers right here. Hybrid worm hook, the G-Finesse hybrid worm hook. Love that hook, love it. Love, love, love it. It is one of my faves. Then we get in here to some swim bait heads. This is how I keep my worm weights. Spro is coming out with some little smaller boxes like this, and I cannot wait to get my hands on them because they're made very, very well. But for years, this is kind of how I've done. These are just, you know, some drop shot weights. Got some swivel, you know, my little split rings there, some more drop shot weights. And then here's the one that probably gets used the most. These are all my tungsten weights. I keep those little, in all my boxes, I keep these little silica packets in there to try to keep the moisture out. And there's more of them on this side, along with the little dealies to keep the bobber stops there. Look at this, I got spare mini flips. Don't ask if you can have any, because you can't. They're mine. But then you got some little these little rage tail things. I was playing around with these for the micro jigs. Worked pretty good. The little, what do they call them? Rage Ned Crawl. Rage Ned Crawl. A little too long. You got to shorten them up a little bit, and they fit nicely on a micro football, especially if you want a little kick to it. If not, I go with the Baby D-Bomb. Chop it down. That's really good. But then look at this. Speaking of Baby D-Bombs, can't have those either. These are my guys. I keep these with me all the time to make sure I have some in case I need some. And then we get into a lot of spare stuff. This is the stuff that goes into the truck. All of this down in here is nothing but spare soft plastics. Look at this. There's some mag drafts over there that I don't ever throw. Again, I got a couple packs of Kitex I never throw. This stuff I like taking tackle on a tour of the country. And that's basically what I do with my mag drafts and Kitex, because I just don't throw them. I get beat by them sometimes, but I rarely throw them. Just one of those confidence things. I've caught some fish on Kitex, I'm not gonna lie. I caught a few fish on a mag draft, probably more than most, but it's just not one of my go-to deals. I've got some other stuff I may be substituting in to that kind of category, if you will, maybe going forward, but I'm showing you everything. Here it all is. I got some spare baits. Like, this is a box that I had for going up north. Got, you know, whopper ploppers, bunch of perch colored looking baits, a bunch of baby DDs, Little John baby DDs. That is my jam for them smallmouths up north. A lot of spare stuff right here. All the spare stuff goes into the boat, into the truck, I mean. Spare stuff. And you know, I've been carrying around these bags forever right here. And you know, this is nothing but spare treble hooks. And then I've got spare hooks, gamakatsu. I mean, you can see a lot of blue in there. Spare shad wraps in case I need those. Spare rattle traps that I never throw. Dude, I've even got some old bandits and stuff that I used to throw, and then I don't throw that stuff anymore, but I got it. Some old rattle traps, and then a bunch of old Aruku shads, just in case, man. Somebody gets on something and they say, dude, you have any of them old rattle traps? I can say, yes, I do. Yes, I do have them old rattle traps. But that other box over there, basically the same thing. Bunch of more spare stuff. Then we kind of get up here. This is how I carry my hooks in the boat, the majority of them. Stay in this little Bass Pro Shops thing. I have had this probably close to 20 years, if not longer. And it is jammed. I mean, it is done swelled up, as they say. And as you can see, it's just all my hooks in there. You know, heavy cover worm hooks, drop shot hooks, you know, my octopus hooks, EWGs, all that stuff is in there. And these are some spare stuff I got from Gamakatsu just recently. That's that new cover Neko hook per Schweit. Be playing around with that. I haven't caught anything on it yet. I've only thrown it a little bit. Got the new G-Power flip and pitch hook. Be playing around with that some. Jika rig, I have caught some on that. I'm not gonna lie, I have caught some on that. I like it. It's like a little shorter Tokyo rig, if you will. Jika rig with a G, because it's Gamakatsu. Those guys are so funny. But we got more stuff over here. Here's my Striker rain suit. That guy stays in the boat. That's my buddy, my old pal. That's the Adrenaline suit, the fancy camo. And then this is the Evolve suit. It's a little thinner. If you want something a little bit thinner, that's that guy right there. Got my spare Mustang life jackets. I like the foam style. That's kind of my deal. I've got down here, these are my gloves that I carry when it's cold. Striker has amazing gloves. Got, you know, all my sun shields in here. Striker and Missile. Got my Striker gloves in here. Got a bunch of different pairs of those for the sun. And here's my helmet that I keep with me. And then that's about it for the boat. I got a few other things that I keep in the truck that really are not tackle related. Got some of my First Form protein that I take on the road with me. That's right, Vegan Power Pro. Plants. Who would have thunk it? And then during the tournament day, I like to have me a little BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, keep me going. If you couldn't tell, like working out, in case you weren't aware. Then here's part of my hat collection this is like my road hat collection. We have a lot of guys in rotation. I don't like to wear the same hat over and over and over again. I just think that's monotonous and boring. I like to change it up. And then there's the active target that I had on the boat this fall, playing around with it. I did not run it during the season, but I may run it a portion of the season next year. I'm definitely going to have both. Probably not both on at the same time, but I'm going to alternate between both. We'll do another video on that later. So you can just you know, press the pause button on asking for that. And then there's a spare 360 and still in the box, never needed it. It definitely came through for me, did well like that. But that's really all the stuff that goes in the boat. I could definitely go through each portion of it a little bit more. But and then this table is a lot of stuff I'm experimenting with. I've got some Japanese stuff over here, like straight from Japan. Some more of the Steve spoons, and again, I am not giving up my sources. And then Mr. Taku Ito thinks he's so slick. Guess who else found some Echo Gear Aqua Liquid? This guy. I don't know what I'm going to put in it. I guess I'll put some missile baits in there, but I don't know. Taku Ito thinks he's slick, but I'm slicker. I got some of the juice too, bro. I got it. And then I got little swim bait heads, my little Gamakatsu swim bait heads. Love them guys. Some more Japanese stuff over here. I don't even know what's in this bag. Not gonna play around with it. And then I got some more stuff to experiment with. Greenfish Tackle got some of their baits just to play with. John wanted some feedback on them baits. I saw him last month, so I'm gonna get out in the water and play around with those baits and give him some feedback. Just bait designer to bait maker. Bait designer. He's a bait maker and bait designer. So Greenfish Tackle, that makes some good stuff. But then got some Gamakatsu stuff, some Japan only. Sorry, wasn't trying to say that incorrectly. And got some other stuff I was playing around with. There's the Rage Bug. I've never thrown the Rage Bug. I want to see this thing in the water. Never thrown it. Strike King makes a bunch of good stuff. And if there's something on the market, I want to see what it does, just so I can know what all is out there. And if Greg Hackney says I caught him on the Rage Bug again, then I know what that bait's doing, because he likes that bug a lot. And I've never even actually seen it in the water. So I want to see it in the water. I want to see what it does. That's just what I do. I'm a bait designer, bait maker. I want to see what everybody else's baits look like in the water. And then we kind of go from there. And this kind of like vomit of a bait well, this is a lot of the stuff that came out of my day box in my basket. All these little single baits, a lot of quivers, a lot of baby destroyers, a lot of Ned bombs right there. And then some of this other stuff is just stuff I was playing around with. But that's basically the tackle tour, the vomit of a basically boat season. I've got a couple days work to get all that situated and organized before I get my new boat in here, probably in about a month. So whenever I get some spare time, I will get that going. And then this is just more spare stuff. Gamakatsu stuff that I've accumulated over the years. All my hooks, got that stuff organized. So if you got any questions on anything that you saw, drop it down. You want to see more explanations on anything else, be sure to drop it down. But don't forget to follow or subscribe or whatever you want to do to make sure you see more of my videos. And if you have anything else you want to see, just be sure to let me know. Thanks for watching.